Ever looked in the mirror and wondered if you'll go bald like a family member? You're not alone. Hair loss, or androgenetic alopecia, is a big deal for many, shaping how we see ourselves. We search our family tree for clues, parents, grandparents, hoping to predict our own hair's future. This curiosity leads us to genetics, the instructions passed down through generations that shape everything from eye color to hairline. Understanding baldness isn't just about curiosity, it's about understanding ourselves. The truth? It's not as simple as blaming one parent. Genetics is a team effort. So let's dive into the science behind hair loss and separate fact from family myth. Ready to decode your DNA secrets? To truly understand baldness, we first need to unravel the fascinating world of genes and how they work inside your body. Genetics might sound complicated, but it's actually a bit like following instructions in a manual, one that's unique to you. Imagine your DNA as a vast library, filled with countless books. Each chromosome is like a book on the shelf, and inside those books are recipes, your genes, that tell your body how to grow, function, and look. You inherit 23 pairs of chromosomes, one set from your mom, one from your dad. This means every trait you have is a unique blend, a genetic remix that's never been seen before, not even in your siblings. Some genes are dominant, taking the lead, while others are recessive, quietly waiting in the background. The way these genes interact shapes everything about you, from the curve of your smile to the color, texture, and even the thickness of your hair. When it comes to hair loss, the story gets even more interesting. The genes involved don't all act the same. Some shout their instructions, while others whisper, and together, they create a complex pattern that's different for everyone. So, when people ask if baldness comes from your mom or your dad, the real answer is that it's about the specific combination of genes you inherit from both sides, and how those genes interact with each other in your body. It's not as simple as flipping a coin. Instead, it's more like following a complicated recipe, with ingredients from both parents blending together in ways that are sometimes predictable, but often surprising. The end result? A one-of-a-kind genetic mix that determines your hair's destiny, whether it stays thick, thins out, or disappears altogether. The science behind it all is truly incredible, showing just how unique and amazing each of us really is. You've heard the myth, baldness comes from your mother's father. It's based on the fact that men inherit their X chromosome from their mom, and a key hair loss gene sits there. But blaming your mom's side alone is like blaming one raindrop for a flood. Modern genetics shows the X chromosome is just one piece of a much bigger puzzle. Dozens of genes on multiple chromosomes play a role. Your whole family tree matters. Mom, dad, and beyond. So, while your maternal grandfather's hair can offer a clue, it's far from the whole story. Let's bust the myth. Both sides of your family contribute to your hair destiny. Baldness is a polygenic trait, meaning many genes, not just one, are involved. Over 60 genes influence hair loss, scattered across your chromosomes. You inherit a mix from both parents, making it a true genetic lottery. That's why siblings can have totally different hairlines. The specific combination you inherit determines your risk. To assess your chances, look at hair patterns across your whole family. Parents, grandparents, aunts, and uncles. It's not about blame, it's about gathering clues. Your family history is your personal genetic database. Let's get specific. The X and Y chromosomes play key roles. The AR gene, linked to baldness, sits on the X chromosome. Men get this from their mothers. But the Y chromosome, from your father, also carries hair loss genes. Most baldness genes, though, are on autosomes, chromosomes you inherit from both parents. So, your risk is shaped by a complex mix. X, Y, and autosomal genes all contribute. It's a collaborative genetic effort, not a single gene story. Your entire DNA is in on the decision. Let's see how this plays out in real families. Balding patterns can vary widely even within the same family, influenced by a mix of genetic factors. Understanding these patterns can help us predict who might experience hair loss and who might not. Alex's dad has hair, but his mom's dad is bald. So Alex's risk is higher due to the X chromosome. This is because the gene for baldness is often carried on the X chromosome, which men inherit from their mothers. Ben's dad is bald, but his mom's dad isn't. Ben could still go bald from genes on his dad's side. The interplay of these genes can be complex, and sometimes the dominant gene will determine the outcome. For women like Chloe, hair loss is less common and usually needs risk genes from both parents. Women are generally less likely to go bald because they have two X chromosomes, which can provide a protective effect. Women have two X chromosomes, so a pro-hair gene can offset a pro-baldness one. This means that even if one X chromosome carries the gene for baldness, the other X chromosome can compensate. Sometimes baldness skips a generation or shows up unexpectedly. This can happen due to the complex nature of genetic inheritance, where recessive genes can remain hidden for a generation or more. Even a parent with hair can pass on hidden risk genes. These genes might not express themselves in the parent, but can still be passed down to the next generation, leading to unexpected hair loss. That's why you need to look at the whole family tree for clues. By examining the hair patterns of multiple relatives, you can get a better understanding of your own risk factors. Your hair story is written by many relatives, not just one. Each family member contributes a piece to the puzzle, helping to create a complete picture of your genetic heritage and potential for hair loss. Let's set the record straight. Hair loss is a topic surrounded by myths and misconceptions. Many people believe that baldness is solely inherited from their mother's side of the family, but this is only partially true. Baldness isn't just from your mom's side. The AR gene is important, but it's only part of the story. In reality, hair loss is influenced by a complex interplay of multiple genes. Dozens of other genes from both parents matter just as much. These genes can come from either side of your family, making the inheritance pattern quite intricate. Your dad's hair status isn't a guarantee for you, and hair loss can skip generations. This means that even if your father has a full head of hair, you might still experience hair loss. Polygenic inheritance means you might inherit enough risk genes to go bald, even if your parents didn't. This is because the combination of genes you receive can create a unique risk profile. There's no single person to blame. It's a complex mix from your entire family. Understanding this can help reduce the stigma and blame often associated with hair loss. Understanding this helps us move past myths and appreciate our genetic complexity. It's important to recognize that hair loss is a natural part of human diversity. Your risk is a sum of your whole genetic heritage. Each family member contributes a piece to the puzzle, making your genetic makeup unique. Science gives us clarity and a little humility about what's written in our DNA. It reminds us that we are all part of a larger genetic tapestry. And that's the real story behind your hair's future. Embracing this knowledge can help us appreciate the beauty of our genetic diversity.